Hi, welcome to my craft room. I'm Shellie Geigle with J&S Hobbies and Crafts, and I have a new project for you. And this one features the Tim Holtz clock. And then I have the paper, the Authentic Legacy. Any paper will work with this. I've also got some embellishments here, some bling and some lace, so check your stash. Let's take a closer look at this project. One thing when I do remake this is I'm going to slide a photo inside, so it serves as a picture frame. So this is what I created, and again I'm going to be sliding a photo in there for the one I make here again. But this is just really cute, and you can do a lot of different things with the Tim Holtz clock. And back here is where you can do that. So, okay, let's go ahead and that's about all there is to it. So check your drawers for your flowers and everything. If not, I'll show you what I used, and if you need to get some. But let's go through the materials list. The clock. The clock comes in this. It's a Tim Holtz, and that is it. You'll need that. The paper I used is, like I said before, is the Authentic Legacy collection. Now, this is the 48 sheet one. I got this because I'm going to be doing a mini album too. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty for a couple different projects. So lots of paper in here. They also have a 24 sheet one. So, okay. I'm just going to put this on the side here so you can take a look. All I used for the cord to get my tag on there was just this hemp cord. And I like this because it gives me a variety of different ones I could use. I'm going to pull this apart really quick. There is this little Tim Holtz. It's a word band, and you get a pack like this. And this one just says, encourage your hopes, not your fears. And there's so many different, whoops, I already got into the package. This one has a ton of different sentiments, words that you could use. This we just make out of the paper. Flowers, I used the Petaloo. And this one is the pink. Okay. I also used some lace. I'm going to be using this lace. And it's an ivory colored one. And you don't need much because we're just kind of accenting this. Okay. I will be using, and this is totally optional, but I'm going to be using some dried baby's breath just to accent a little bit. Now for my leaves, now as you notice, this is a more vibrant green. In this, when I make it, I'm going to make my leaves a little more toned down. And I'm going to be using the color box. This is a metallic, and it's called Willow, and that's what I stamped and inked up my stuff with. And then I came over the top with the chalk ink by Color Box, and it's Olive Pastel. You'll just need a small little photo. And for the leaves, I did use the Heartfelt Creations Classic Rose Vine stamp and the Classic Rose Vines die. And it's this one right here in the middle that I used. And I used this in another tutorial, and I'll be using this again. Bling for around your clock. We do need that. And for adhesive, I am using the 1/4 inch score tape. It's a double-sided tape. It's really strong. And then, of course, I love this art glitter glue. There's no glitter in it. It dries clear. It's just a really good glue that adheres a lot of different types of materials. So that is what I'm going to be using. Other than that, that is all there is to it. I'd say let's get started. Okay, you will need a pencil for this and your scissors. I detached the back of my clock here, and I've already got into this sheet. This is the one I'm using, so I'm going to use it again. And I'm just going to place this down and draw around it. And then I'm going to cut this out. Okay, all we're going to do here is add our glue to the back of this, and then we can trim it up after we place it on the back of the clock. Make sure get around the edges. Okay, here is the back, which is the pull tab, so I'm just going to lay this down. Once this dries and the glue grabs, we are going to turn this over, and we'll need our craft knife and a little pad. But all you're going to do is trim the excess of paper that is poking out around the sides. So all I'm going to do is place this down and go around the outside and trim to get off that extra bit. Once you've trimmed, make sure that your piece is still going to fit in, and it should fit snugly because you don't want this falling out the back. In this paper pack, there is this sheet on the back. It's the green polka dots, and all I'm going to do is cut in around this area so that I can get the words postcard and the little postcard stamp. And I'm just going to cut this by hand. Okay. All I do is just fold that now in half so that I have that. Oh, and one thing that you might want to do is ink around the edges with a brown ink. This is Rich Cocoa by Memento, or any brown inks will work. And I'm actually going to chop this down just a little bit more. Make it a little smaller. There we go. And I'm just going to ink around the edges there. I'd like to bend mine a little in the half too, and daub off some of this, and then just kind of like Lego in the middle. Kind of makes it. And that's all you need for that. So there's one piece there. Grab the photograph that you wish to use, and if you don't wish to use anything, you can always just do it like I did in here, as you can see. I cropped down my photo and then I mounted it on a piece of white cardstock. In this paper collection, there is the wood looking paper, and all I'm going to do there is place my photo down. I want a little bit of a wood border around, so I'm going to cut that out and then mount the picture to it. So I've got mine down. I have a little bit of the wood showing around. It's time to glue these two pieces down. So before you glue down, go ahead and place your little postcard type page up at the corner. Make sure it does not go outside the circle. And then we're going to overlap our photograph just like this. Okay, so I cut a piece of the hemp cord, and I'm just going to bring one side over through here, and then I'll do the same here. And all I'm going to do is pull this so that it's centered, just like this. And I'm going to glue this down. Now, if you don't have patience for glue to to dry, you might want to tack it down with a little hot glue. Whoops, I've got everything under the sun stuck to my hot glue gun. I should have cleaned it. Alright, let's see. So if you have no patience, just tack a little glue down there to the side. We will be trimming these off. So okay. Once your glue is set, go ahead and just trim it around the edges there. Now if you're using the art glitter glue, once you place your glue, you might want to put a binder clip on each side to hold it down for a bit. But once it does grab with this glue, it's not going to come back up. Okay, let's get into our flower pack. Let's grab a lighter pink and another one of those, and let's grab, let's say 3 leaves for that. Okay, let's go ahead and add some glue. Stick one right here. Okay, I'm going to set this off to the side to dry. In the collection, you will find this print. Go ahead and cut 2 strips that are 1.5 inches wide. And then let's grab some score tape and we're going to connect them, and then we'll trim it down to what we need. Okay, all we're going to do in this is wrap our piece on the inside of the clock. And you're going to measure this by pushing down all the way and seeing how much you need. You will need a little bit more than a full strip, so just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to go right like that. Let's turn this over and add couple rows of score tape. Now the trick to this is once you get your thing off here, yep, I think I need my, oh, I got it. Okay, so there is inside the clock these little bottom notches. So all I'm going to do is just push this all the way down to hit that, and then I'm just going to start pushing it down in there as best I can to wrap around the inside of that clock so that it doesn't bunch up by the time we flip it over. It will be along the outside. You're not going to get a super flush because there's the nuts and everything, the bolts in there. All you're looking to do is get a circular thing. So once you have that, then you've got this, and it looks good. Okay, we can push that in there now. The next step is to glue the bling around the outside of the clock. You may want to tack it down with some hot glue. It grabs quicker. If you are using this, do not goop on a bunch. It will take forever to dry. You just need a little bit of this. However, it does take time. So if your bling isn't cooperating, I suggest using the hot glue. Cut 2 strips of the wood print. It's 1.5 inches wide. And then we're going to double them up. Okay, I'm going to double mine up. Measure down approximately 6 inches and make a punch mark through that. Okay, you can trim off any excess in a moment. This punch mark represents down here, and you will need to trim. If you place one down, you'll want enough to come up through here. Most of that gets covered. So I punched a hole, and all I'm going to do now is trim this up so it doesn't hit the other side. Now this is the part where you are going to need to bring it in and fold it right where it hits the underside of the ring there. Once you have that, then you know your mark. The mark being that you need to cut some slices so that it can fit in and glide in. So let me show you. I'm going to slide that back on there, and I'm just going to now push that in so then it can lay down. Okay, I've got that side done. I can set this one off to the side. And with this being said, you'll do the same thing here, and approximately I need it to go in about that much or so. Okay, now that you have these, this is where we are going to apply score tape. I've got score tape on the back of mine, and we're going to place this. And the first thing you're going to have to do is place the piece through the hole first, and then we're going to tuck it back up and under. And you'll want your craft knife handy to remove the score tape, as well as help you get it flat up through here. So here we go. I got all the score tape off, and I'm going to place that down. Now I'm going to watch how I do this so that I can try and keep it straight. Just place that right on down. And pushing to make sure that there is no gaps around there, making sure it's smooth. And you'll smooth it out as soon as you're done too. Now when you get to this point, this is where you're just going to poke this through here and get it up through there. Now this is the part where you're going to need your craft knife to poke it down through in there. And you're just going to push it and help it. And you'll do the same thing over here so that it lays down just like that. Now what you want to do is just use your fingers and make sure this is all down, and then it'll look like this. Okay, let's do the other side. Now I've got mine on, and I did match up down here. Do not worry about the top up here, because this is where our flowers go. Now if you want, it takes a moment to smooth down these edges here. And if you just can't get yours real smooth, you can take your brown ink and get around the edges there, and it helps blend it in with the clock. It's time to decorate. Let's grab some lace. I cut some strips of lace and tucked it back up underneath here. And the other part of the lace we will add after we add our stuff. So, first thing I am going to do is glue this right like this. So I'm going to add some glue onto this. And I'm going to give it a moment. After your leaves have dried, grab 2 of your leaves and 1 of your pink ones and apply it just like that. Okay. on your cuttings off this sheet, create a tag. You can do it by hand, or you can use something like what I just brought in to the store, and I've been using this at home. Pretty much all you do is you stick a piece of paper in there, it punches this out, and then you slide it in here to punch the hole, and then you just kind of go like that, and it's an instant tag. Anyway, that's not necessary to do, to have one of those, but if you would like to do it, to have a tag maker or something really quick. So all I do with this is I just kind of tie it around up there. And you can just let it dangle off to the side. Let's grab that lace now to stick back behind here. Okay, all you do is cut a strip of lace like I did and fold it over and glue it on back behind there. Let's tackle the top. We're just about done here. So all we do for this is we just kind of let it drape over a little, and then we just glue it down so that it's poking up like this. And I'm going to do that. So you may have to hold it for just a moment while it grabs. So just kind of do that. Add a little glue here and there. And you just kind of have to form it to go the way you want to go. And I'm going to let that dry for just a moment. Okay, so all I'm going to start doing now is adding flowers and sticking them here and there and allowing them to dry. I'll be putting this one back here like so. Now feel free to add more. I'm going to add a couple more flowers in here, a white one and another one back up behind here. Okay, I added some baby's breath and I did add a little white flower back there, but this is complete. And as you can see from this one to this one, the green over here is more vibrant than over here. So you can get several different effects by the color of flowers and leaves that you do. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.